Hello everyone, time for me to return to my roots. And by my roots, I don't mean the very first types of videos I was making. I mean the videos that really got my channel expanding to the point that it is now. Which, when I mean expanding, I mean to 150 subscribers, which then I lost one after I made that thank you video, which is now 149. But whatever. Points scored. And what did I say? It's power rankings. And not just power rankings, it's talking about sports leagues that just started up that people are excited for, that there's not really too many official, uh, you know, talk hosts for yet. Not official experts for yet. So, I have to throw my hat in the ring and do my power rankings. And for week one, obviously for a bunch of teams we have never seen before, with a bunch of players we've seen play together for the very first time, with a bunch of coaches play with coaching these players for, I guess, most of them the second time, but for the first time, you just kind of gotta go based on practically nothing. And so when you really look at it, I'm not just looking at the biggest margin for victory mostly when you look at this, and I'm going back on again how my power rankings works. It's not just you look at the points scored, you look at the points allowed, see what the teams rank there, add them together, then you get the rankings. Now, when it comes to points scored, who scored the most points? Well, the team that scored the least amount of points were the Tampa Bay Vipers, scoring only 3 points. They had the worst offense, they had the worst everything, really, and they were just a really bad team all around, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Then you got Renegades next, scoring 9 points, not much better. Then you got the Battlehawks in the bottom three, yet they won the game. They scored only 15 points and won. Now, that's pretty good. That just means they had a really good defense. Now, you can look at the Wildcats. They scored only 17 points. They're, in the bottom half. Then you got the Dragons, the only team that lost that's in the top half. The Dragons scored 19 points. Then you get to the New York Guardians, third. They scored 23 points. Defenders are second, scoring 31. And then the Roughnecks, having the best offense with the best quarterback that week, scoring 4 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, nearly 300 yards. The Houston Roughnecks scored 37 points. My team, best offense. We're going to win this XFL championship game. We got it. We're not ranked first yet, but we'll be there. We'll reign supreme with our crown. So Roughnecks are number one. And then their points right now are based on where they rank there. And then they get more points based on where they're ranked on the on allowing scores. Now, who allowed the most scores? Well, obviously, since it's only 1 week into the season, and the Roughnecks scored the most, and they played against the Wildcats. Well, the Wildcats allowed the most points. Then you got the Dragons allowing 31 points against the Defenders. The Vipers allowing 23 points against the Guardians. The Defenders allowing 19 points against the Dragons. The Defenders being, having the worst defensive scoring basically for teams that won. Then you get the Roughnecks allowing 17 points. Then the Renegades allowing 15. The best defense for teams that lost. Then you get the Battlehawks at 9, and the New York Guardians only allowing 3 points. So the Guardians allowed 3 points, and they scored 23. That's a 20-point difference. It's kind of like the Roughnecks scoring 37 and allowing 17. Another 20-point difference. But, whatever. When it comes to the rankings, you'll see how this works, kind of. I might have a slideshow later. Now, the worst team right now is Tampa Bay Vipers. They only scored 3 points, which is 8th. And then they allowed 23 points, which is 6th. 8 plus 6, that's 14 points, dropping them dead last. There is no tiebreakers this week. They all had different scores. Now, LA is ranked 7th. Why is that? Well, the Wildcats, they scored only 17 points, which is 5th, ranked 5th. And the thing is, they allowed the worst. They allowed the most points. They played up against the best offense. They allowed the most points. As of right now, we'll see how things mesh together as the season goes on. And you have nothing really to go as best offense versus like this offense going up against the worst defense. We'll see how another offense. It's we don't really have anything to compare it to right now. So right now, Roughnecks have the best offense and Wildcats have the worst defense. At least until we, figure out exactly how good that Wildcats defense is, or maybe exactly how bad how good that the Roughnecks offense really is. We'll see how bad the Wildcats defense really is. That's what I meant to say. And so that's 13 points, 8-5. Then you get the Seattle Dragons. They're ranked 6th. Obviously, the bottom 4 teams are going to be losers. The Dragons, they had a top 4 offense, so that's 4. They scored 19 points. They were in the top half. But they also allowed the 7th most points, 31. That gives them 11 points, ranked 6th. Then you get the Dallas Renegades, the best of the losing team, apparently. And they only, really the reason why they lost because they couldn't really score any points. They were 7th in scoring, only 9 points, but they were 3rd in points allowed, only allowing 15 points. And really don't, if they just scored, if they were able to score points, they would have won that game. They had a really good defense, basically. And obviously, you get 7. You get 7 plus 3, and that's 10. Then you get the St. Louis Battlehawks, the worst of the winning teams so far. They could end up being the best. The Dallas Renegades could very well be a really great team, and we don't. And the Battlehawks might also be a really great team. They just had 2 really great teams play against each other. We don't know yet. Or they could both be really crappy teams. We don't know yet. We really don't know. Now, we have St. Louis Battlehawks. They only scored the 6th most points. Yeah, they basically scored above the Vipers and the Renegades. One team they beat, and then the worst scoring team so far. So, not really that great on offense yet. So again, we don't know how good Renegade defense is. We don't know. But the Battlehawks only allowed the 2nd most points. They allowed the 2nd fewest points, only allowing 9. And we don't know much about it. I'm just going based off what they've done so far. So the same as Battlehawks. 6 plus 2 is 8. Then you get the DC Defenders. They scored the 2nd most points, 31, though most of it was on defense. And again, not most of it, but 2 scores were on defense, 1 on special teams, blah, blah, blah. At the same time, though, they allowed the 5th most points, 19. They allowed 19 points. So 5 plus 2, that's 7. And then you get Houston. They had the best offense, 37 points. And then they got, well, the 3rd best defense. Not the 3rd, the 4th best defense. So 1 plus 4, that's 5. And why New York did better is because they had the 3rd best offense and the 1st best defense. So 3 and 1 is better than 4 and 1. That's basic, simple math the way it goes. But honestly, the way I see it, I still believe Houston is going to pass New York. I believe DC might pass New York too. I think New York might have a strong defensive game, but they may fall down the list as teams get really, really good with their offenses. And with Houston, their offense is already great. Who knows how great their offense is going to get? They just need to maybe work a little bit more on that defense, but who knows? When they made the adjustments that second half, the Dragons were scoreless. DC Defenders, really great team. Houston, really great team. New York might be great, might be underestimated by most people, but at the same time, they kind of went up against the worst team so far. We'll find out. So the rankings are New York first, Houston second, DC third, St. Louis fourth, Dallas fifth, Seattle sixth, and then LA seventh, with Tampa Bay being last. Those are our rankings. Not too much more to add, not too much more to talk about. Most of it is we don't know. We just have one game to go off of, and we don't know how they will go against other teams. We don't really have anything to compare them right now. Not yet. Next week we'll have a better idea.